Don't you love it when that happens? Hey everybody, hey everybody. Welcome to the Tub, Maui's Celebrity Hot Talk. What, you don't want... You said louder music, Chuck? Is that what you said? The theme song is the only good part of this show. So if we don't crank it up... Hi, I'm Chemo Nevius, and I'm your host. If you're watching at home on TV, you'll see that there's a little thing down here, right here. It says Larry, John, and the Tub. But Larry's been missing for a long time. Right here, right where Chuck is trying to exactly. It says Larry, John, and the Tub. But this is the Tub minus Larry John. This is the new and improved Tub. Maui's Hot Talk, celebrity, music, and public affairs. Radio show. Across the table from me, in the co-pilot's chair, the yin to my yang, the laurel to my hardy, Mr. Steve Craig.
Thank you.
I can't remember which one's laurel. I don't know, or do I want you to be hardy? I can't remember. Next to him, and just back from the... I'm not going to turn your mic on.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
we're on now. Oh, now we get microphones.
Oh, yeah. Now you're good.
I'm worthy of a mic.
You are worthy of a mic. Back from the East Coast, we were both in a city of 8.5 million people at the time, and yet did not see each other.
No.
I'm not quite sure how that worked out. But it's the greatest comic on the island of Maui. The voters voted for it.
The voters voted for me.
Mr. Chuck Sauce.
Chuck Sauce.
Hi, Chemo. How's it going?
Chuck. He gets more applause than I do. That's not right.
It's going to be a great day.
It is going to be a great day. Now, hang on over here.
Are we on the radio?
We are, and on TV.
Really?
What?
Yeah, I know. Can you believe it? And our special guest, let's stop talking about you guys for a second. I mean, you're fine, but our special guest over there in the tiny chair is a 6-foot-tall rabbit named, I can't, you can see him, right? He's in that chair right there. Yes, there's a 6-foot-tall rabbit named Harvey in that chair, and next to Harvey is Mr. Michael Pulliam, who will be starring.
You might want to turn on Michael's mic.
Yeah, where is your mic?
Michael's mic. All right, man. Is he turned it on?
That's a really good question. Where's your Michael, Mike? Where's your mic, Mike?
Harvey took it.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Well, we're going to work this out.
Good.
Maybe it'll just be me doing a monologue.
Sounds good.
No, your mic works fine. For once, you can hear Chuck Sauce.
It's the new mics, baby.
Exactly. You sound terrific.
Oh,
you sound terrific, baby. All right, we're going to take the theme song way down.
Actually,
yeah, well, you know, most of the time with Chuck...
This is pre-production.
Most of the time with Chuck, you can't hear a word he says anyway. So, we're going to... I'm going to solve Michael Pulliam's microphone problem.
Yes.
While you, Mr. Steve Craig, ideas.
Am I reading?
And Chuck, who is...
Let me get my fancy glasses.
And Chuck, who knows his way around this studio...
This is The Tub, Maui's Hot Talk, celebrity, music, and public affairs show. Today's episode, number 285.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's number 285. We're only 15 episodes away from the magic 300.
Whoa!
Number 285 is broadcasting on Friday, September 15th, 2017 on KAKU Akaku 85.5 FM.
88.5 FM.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, the voice of Maui.
88.5.
Or 85.8.
Okay.
You can tune in there, too.
Okay, let's do a real take now. Can we do that?
Yes.
This episode will air again tomorrow at 8 a.m. and on Friday, September 22nd at 4 p.m. and Saturday, September 23rd at 8 a.m. Did you get all that?
Yeah, write that down, please.
All right, then. He writed it down. Did you know we are also on a TV show? We're on TV, guys.
Whoa.
Hey.
Whoa.
I know.
Watch us on
and you dressed for it. Yeah.
I
Channel
did.
55, kids. Channel 55. Friday night at 8 p.m., Saturday night at midnight, and Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Or stream video on www.mauitvandраdio.com. Want to be on the show? Email our host.
No one wants to be on this show, but some people do it anyway.
Listen, I've never done this before.
A lot of people want to be on the show. Why wouldn't they want to be on the show? It's a great show.
I'm just reading. Want to be on the show? Email our
down.
host, chemo@chemosongs.com. That's chemo, K-I-M-O, come on, at chemosongs.com.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know how to spell my first. Well, you know, you go to Starbucks on the mainland and you say, "Hey, my name's Chemo," and you get a cup that says C-H-E-M-O.
Well, that's...
Ooh, that's a bad joke.
Ominous.
It is.
Yeah.
And what do the poor
Like in a
baristas
cup.
think on the other side? They're like,
liquid chemo.
he's identifying himself by...
No, I was thinking more like that's what's in the cup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
could be.
Like you're supposed to drink that. And anyway, that's a terrible thing to say. The Tub is a Larry John production.
It most certainly is. Hi, Larry.
Hello, Larry.
I hope you're having a great time
Miss
listening.
you.
I actually don't know if the stream is working today. So
Okay.
so now you can put on your cool glasses.
Thanks. Welcome back to the Tub.
Oh, this is happening.
We're here on the Tub today. On the Tub.
Oh,
Today on
God.
the Tub.
All right.
Oh, dear.
okay.
Well, it's okay. You don't even get a microphone at the moment because I can't figure out why yours is not. But Chuck's going to solve this problem because he's an old pro at using the board.
Check, check, check. Michael, let's hear you go. Check, check, check. Oh,
See?
man, it's still not on. Well, at least we're not on air yet. Harvey, try Harvey's mic.
Yeah.
Try Harvey's mic.
That Chuck's mic is working fine. That goes way up in it.
Uh-huh.
Try that again.
There's Tony. Tony's here to save the day.
Yeah, I don't know. No. I don't hear you at all. But this is really boring for the folks at home. So we're going to let Tony fix this problem.
I'm bored here.
Eh.
I can only imagine the folks at home. This is a good time to get up and go pee. Thank you.
So we're going to do a little segment
Good.
that we like to call Shameless Self-Promotion.
Okay.
And we got a new theme song for it this week.
Earth and Sky by Steve Craig. That's the title track.
It's the title track to what?
My album called Earth and Sky.
Wait, so Earth and Sky is the title track to an album called Earth and Sky?
Yes, that's what a title track is. Right. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
You're a fantastic singer-songwriter.
Oh, that's very nice of you to
It's
say.
brazen, to say the least.
It is, and I don't quite understand why you're so good. But you're terrific.
We'll talk about that after the show.
And people might want to go and hear you play that song live.
Yeah, yeah.
Where can they do that?
Okay, well, the next gig is, every Sunday we've been doing Dog and Duck from 6 to 9 in the Triangle, the world-famous Dog and Duck. Got a show coming up at Taqueria Cruise. You been there, anyone? Taqueria Cruise?
Taqueria Cruise.
Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah.
Jorge.
In South Kihei.
Yeah, Jorge and Jenna,
I-
the
I,
owners and proprietors of such business.
Well, I used to play at Taqueria Cruise.
How was that for you?
Once. Well, we'll talk about it after the
Okay,
show.
After the show. Well, I'm there on the 22nd, which is a Friday, the 22nd, from 6:30 to 8:30, doing my one-man Beatles show called Come Together.
Well, that
Ooh.
to
Yes.
say again when you're going to be there?
Okay, I'll start over again.
I know where you're going to be.
Friday.
Taqueria Cruise.
September 22nd at Taqueria Cruise from 6:30 to 8:30. I will be performing my one-man Beatles show called Come Together.
Beatles and Mexican
Beatles,
food.
yes,
And that's
see
in
that?
South Kihei?
Yeah, that's in South
In
PA.
Dolphin Plaza?
Taqueria Cruise.
In Dolphin.
Interesting.
In
Actually,
Dolphin
I'm kind of
Plaza.
starting at
That's
6
right.
o'clock. I recommend 6 p.m. because it's going to be crazy down there. Crazy.
Because so
It
many
gets
people are
pretty
gonna show-
crowded.
Yeah, it does. And it's
That's
also
right.
BYOB, just so you know.
Yeah. it
Bring your own
is.
Beatles, which is what I'm doing, man. All right.
Wow. You're so clever.
I just wrote that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
very good. You're very good at what you do,
know,
Steve Craig.
I
What's your
practice.
favorite Beatles album, Steve Craig?
I would say Abbey Road.
All right. I like you.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say Rubber Road or Abbey Soul.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't
All
figure it
right.
out.
Where can people find you, Chuck Sauce?
Every Tuesday at Three's Bar and Grill in downtown Kihei from 9 to 11. And third Sunday of every month, you can see me at Maui Comics and Collectibles for our Maui Comics and Comics. And you can see me next Wednesday at Cheeseburger in Paradise on Front Street.
Awesome. Love
Yeah.
that place.
I think we're having a little microphone difficulty.
Share
here.
the mic, baby.
So I think we're gonna have to.
Share the love.
We're gonna.
Share the mic.
We
Brush
can do
your
that.
teeth.
Hey, look at that.
I have no issues with sharing.
There's Mike.
Hey, so I'm going
Mike's
to
Mike.
reintroduce Michael Pulliam.
Yes,
He
please.
is the
Yeah.
star of a fantastic play called Harvey that is coming up at the EAO Theater. And he's going to be interviewed about this in a little while.
Yes.
But tell us, when is this taking place?
You can check out Harvey. It opens 2 weeks from today on Friday night, the 29th of September. And to get tickets, visit MauiOnStage.com. It runs for 3 weekends at the historic EAO Theater, 7:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, and we do a matinee at 3 p.m. on Sundays. MauiOnStage.com to get tickets.
All right.
Very cool.
Well, that's basically the whole show right there.
How do you
So
like the show? How do you like it?
This is
Well, this is one of my
Hey,
all-time
Are
favorite.
we at the interview segment?
Yes, we are. One quick question.
Sure. Okay.
How do you like
once.
the show?
It's one of my all-time favorite plays, and it's kind of a cliche, but it's a bucket list role to play Elwood, and I'm excited to do so.
Super cool. Now, see, we can talk about all of that later.
Well, no, you've totally preempted
Hey,
me.
you didn't call me, man. We were supposed to talk about this.
Okay. What can I say? We were going to wear matching Beatles shirts.
I
But you
like-
obviously did not get that memo.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, what am I shamelessly self-promoting?
Yes.
Myself.
Yes.
I was just going to play some music for you because it's my show. It's my damn show.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm just back from New York City,
Yes.
where Chuck Sauce is also just back from. You probably don't even need a mic. You're so loud, Chuck Sauce.
Not at all.
You could just be picked up by ambient room mics. And I did not plan this way, but I happened to be in New York on September 11th, which is actually something that I generally avoid. I was there on September 11th. I was still living there when that happened. And a very good friend of mine, we worked together. I'm going to retract that. We were very close friends when we worked together, and then we went our separate ways. And I didn't kind of lost track of my friend Hector. He later became an EMT, and then he became a probationary firefighter. And as a probie, he was one of the first people on the scene at the World Trade Center. And he went in, and he never.
Wow.
So I wrote a song for him, which is one of the songs that people really like off my last album. And I've recently done a new mix of it that I was listening to in the car on the way down here, and actually think I put the wrong one on the CD. I don't think that this is the mix that I meant to play. But that being said, I think we're going to give it a try and see what this sounds like. This is a song called Every Time. And actually, the little backstory is we're all stardust. Every piece of energy in the universe has always existed and will always exist. And sometimes it comes together, the molecules, to form a person. And then when that person isn't existing, it's not like their energy is gone. It goes back into the universe. I mean, this is not mumbo jumbo. This is scientific fact.
Yes.
And this is about that energy.
Awesome.
Now, let's see if I can get
Are
it to
we
play.
hearing the whole song?
We are going to hear. It is not radio friendly. It is.
No.
It is
no,
five.
I meant
it is
that
over.
because, so I could,
It is an over 5 minute song because
Okay.
you've met me.
Yes.
And for me, the short songs are like, it came in when I'm in the recording studio. Actually, Larry, who records a lot of my stuff, we hit that 4 minute and 20-second mark like every time.
Yeah,
It's like incredible.
420.
That's a short song for me. It's 4:20.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's see if this works. Let's see if
Okay,
this
got
works.
it.
I'm driving down this long and lonesome highway. My fingers restless on the dial. I'm wishing you were not so far away, and that maybe I could just see your smile. And I wonder where you are tonight. Are you off on some distant satellite? My radio is picking up a signal. Is that you? The sound is soft and low. Well, I try to tune it in through all the static. Well, I try to find a melody I know. Are you reaching out across the skies? Just a fragment that I recognize. I'd gladly sing along, my friend, if it brought you back to me again. Oh, oh, oh. Every time I hear a song, it's your song. And every time I see a star, it's your star. Every time I make a wish, it's the same wish. Every time I wish that you weren't so far away. I watch the pavement fade behind me, and all the street lights turn to black. Still everything I see reminds me of all the things I can't get back. And then I hear your voice shine through the storm. It's enough to keep me safe and warm. Oh, oh, oh. Every time I hear a song, it's your song. And every time I see a star, it's your star. Every time I make a wish, it's the same wish. Every time I wish that you weren't so far away. Dawn is breaking over the skyline. I wish that you could see it with me now. But though I'm a million miles from where we started, I am still a million miles from you somehow. And if I see a shooting star tonight, I will know it's you out there shining bright. If I could make just one wish come true, I'd jump this world to be with you. Oh, oh, oh. Every time I hear a song, and every time I see a star, and every time I make a wish, it's the same wish. Every time I wish that you weren't so far away.
We're going to do the tasteful fade. Because this song goes on for a while.
I like it a lot.
Thank you.
The whole thing you said about stars and stardust and the never-ending recycling, never-ending
Yeah.
place that we end up. That's cool.
It's entropy, man.
Is that the word?
Yeah, nothing
Spell
is
that,
either
please.
created or destroyed.
How do you spell that?
ENTROPY.
Entropy. Define
But
it
it's
for
got to
us.
be entropy, comma,
What
man.
does it mean exactly? Can you tell me? Because I don't know what it means. I mean, I kind of know because I know.
Well, the first law of thermodynamics is that,
There we go. Physics.
what is the first law of thermodynamics? Darn it.
It's not cause and effect. We know that.
Heat cannot of itself pass from one body to a hotter body.
that
No,
true?
that's the second law of thermodynamics. The first law of thermodynamics is that heat is work and work is heat.
I like that.
There you go.
Tell us more. Anyway,
No,
great
anyway.
song. Great song.
Thank you. Thank you very
Is
much.
hell perpetually getting hotter, or is it perpetually cooling off?
I think everything perpetually cools. That's the nature of the universe.
Oh, so
Is
what,
it?
what a time to be alive.
Exactly. So global warming be damned.
Man.
In the greater scheme of the universe, everything is cooling down. There was a big bang, all the energy was there,
Yep.
and then it's just been getting cooler and cooler ever since. But it gets
Wow,
it-
just like this show, am I right, guys? Eh?
that's how you stick. That's how you cut Chuck off. All right, let's do a little round very quickly of shameless, selfless promotion.
Yeah.
So you get to plug something that does not, I repeat, does not have anything to do with you.
I say go to see Harvey because it's I do. It has nothing to do with me. Does
Nothing to
have
do with
nothing
you.
What do you mean? I'm saying that.
It has nothing to do with you.
I'm gonna double
it's-
enforce the whole
It's kind of the
Harvey thing.
cop out, but yeah, sure.
No, it's not. It's not a cop out. How dare you?
It is totally not a cop out.
It's totally not a cop out.
Well, that's great. So Steve stole yours.
I like giant rabbits that don't really. Well, they
Who
do.
doesn't?
Hey, there's
but-
no evidence that he does not exist.
Exactly. I didn't finish
It's
my thought.
actually
Thank
in
you
the
very
script
much.
that he does. There are other witnesses, so
Right.
Okay.
if more than one person
I have my
sees
copy.
Harvey,
I have my copy of the
then
script
Harvey
right
exists.
here.
Yes.
They
See?
allude to that in the movie
Yeah.
of Harvey.
The author of Harvey, Mary. Sorry. We'll get to that
Anywho.
later.
That is my selfless promotion.
Well, that's a great one. You've done a very
You're
good
very
job.
selfless.
You
I get 10% of the proceeds.
You exactly 10% of
I'm
every
kidding.
of every
I'm-
ticket sold by this show.
It'll be a great show, man.
Excellent.
So who else?
Chuck Sauce. Sorry, I'm trying not to point to you so much.
This
I got to do the flight. I'm trying to learn. You're not
And
supposed to
every
point. You're supposed to-
third Friday at Luana Lounge, that's in the Fairmont Keelani, they do this thing called the Grape Escape.
You and your grape.
You
puns.
know I love grape puns. And it's a food and wine pairing. So they pick a region of the world. It was South Africa the month before that. It was Italy last month. And tonight it's Rhone from France. And they're pairing French food with French wines. And it's like $50 for Kama Ina. And they're pretty big pours and pretty decent servings. Highly worth it.
Awesome.
They get out those glasses that you can get at novelty shops where the glass is a whole bottle.
Yeah. My doctor said I could have one glass a day. Hey.
And Chuck brings his own with him. He's like, "Can you just pour it in here?" Keep
Yeah,
going.
that's right.
Keep
Keep going.
Well, that's
Yeah.
cool. How many wines do you get?
5.
Wow,
Yeah.
So
it's
5
pretty
courses,
good.
5
courses,
wines.
5 wines.
$50.
$50.
Kama Ina. That's
Come on,
fantastic.
it's a pretty good deal. Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, it's not
great.
bad. And it's in a beautiful setting, and it's right around sunset. It runs from 5 to 7.
And it's where again? Tell
It's
me.
at the
I would-
Fairmont Keelani in historic
Nice.
Wailea.
And there's wine involved.
There's
I got
wine.
Heavily
see,
involved.
See, I got the wine part, and then I missed the Keolani
Yeah.
part because I was like, wine.
Yeah, wine. It's
Yeah.
pretty yummy.
It's pretty much the title of the event.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
The grape
Escape.
escape.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I like
All
that
right.
too.
Now let's. If you were watching at home on TV while you were listening to that song of mine, you were probably seeing us madly scurrying around the studio, and that was to see if we can get Michael Pulliam's
And it's working. Apparently.
microphone to work.
Yes.
Yes, it is. That's excellent. So I'm going to turn you up a little bit. Is there anything you would like to promote on this fun island
if
of
I
ours?
wasn't going to be in Harvey on our opening night, there's this fantastic show that's going to be at the MAC, and it's a traditional but also modern Japanese puppetry show
I
called
heard that.
Shanksmare.
I heard
And
that
then-
on
when
your
is
show.
this?
This is exquisitely beautiful. I watched the video and I was blown away. So this is on this is 7:30 p.m. Friday the 29th of September at in the Castle Theater at the MAC.
Awesome.
And if you watch
That's a date night.
if you go to the MAC website and watch the video, it's just out of this world. And they film, so the puppets are interacting with a miniature set, and they're filming that live, and then projecting that live footage on a screen behind the puppets, which is then creating the settings that they're in. And it's just this combination of 160-year-old tradition of puppetry with the most modern technology to enhance it, and it just looks like can't miss entertainment.
Awesome. That sounds great. And that's the opening night also with yours?
It's the opening night of
That
Harvey.
is selfless
So-
as a guest.
So
Right.
you can come see Harvey the next night or
There
for
you
the
go.
next 3
You're
weeks.
doing 3 weekends total?
3 weekends
So you're doing
total.
9 performances.
Yes.
So it's
So-
understandable.
So we can
if
all do both.
Yes,
we can all do
absolutely
both.
you can.
every single one of us
The
can,
definition of selfless promotion.
can do both. I'm going to selflessly promote some more music because it's my.
Go.
So I was on the East Coast, as you may have heard, because I said it. What? Ding. I did not go to any. I do a lot of theater. I'm a theater junkie for some reason. I did not go to any traditional. I did not go to any straight plays. I did not go to any musicals. I did go to 2 operas.
Straight plays?
Yeah, when
That
a
means
play does not have
non-musical.
music.
Yeah, you got to go into more
I just-
detail
I
on
just
that
had
one.
to go.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just-
sorry.
I couldn't help it.
It's a standard
Lame.
term.
Yeah.
It's stop it,
Go.
Mr. Jaws the musical. We're going to talk about that.
Whoa, is that a real thing?
It is
It will
because
be.
there's always something going on at the historic EOW Theater,
That's right.
which has got this beautiful stage. But Steve and I are starting the completely unhistoric EOW Theater to
Yes.
be the rival theater.
Yes.
It's just going to be out on the street, and
Yes.
Steve is writing Jaws the musical
Mhm.
for us from the shark's point of view.
Yes.
I think that's the twist it needs. Is that it's all going to be told. What's that shark's name? Bruce?
Yes, the mechanical
The mechanical shark.
shark.
So
That's
this
from
is-
Finding Nemo.
No, Bruce is the name of the
The
shark.
actual name of the,
Oh,
of the
in-
mechanical shark.
They named him Bruce?
They named
They
him
named
Bruce.
him Bruce.
That's interesting because it's also the shark in Nemo, the big great white. Did you know
Is-
that?
I did not.
We're
and I'm
having
sure,
fish tonight.
and that
Sure
has
that
to
they
be
knew.
an-
They're
that's gotta-
probably connected.
That's gotta be an
Spielberg,
homage.
man, he gets his feet into everything.
He does. He really does.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went to see an opera called La Fanciulla del West. We can talk about that. It's by Puccini. It was excellent. Then I went to see at the Metropolitan Opera Pete Townsend has made a classical version of Quadrophenia.
Really?
Sort of not an opera,
Very
more
interesting.
a cantata, if you will.
Okay.
So it stars a tenor named Alfred. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, quite honestly.
Mhm.
It's spelled B-O-E. How would you pronounce that? Bowie?
Bo.
Boy?
Bo.
Bo?
Yeah,
I would
let's
say
call him
Bo.
Bowie.
Yeah.
Let's call him Bowie.
We're going to call him Alfred B.
Yeah.
And he is the main person. He sings Jimmy, but he sings
Boo,
most of the
maybe?
songs. And then he is joined on stage
Jimmy.
by either Pete Townsend for some of the songs or, and I found this fascinating, Billy Idol for some of the songs. And Billy has incredible range and can really do that Roger Daltrey thing pretty well.
Wow.
Yeah. He's
Plus,
so thin still. How does he do it?
Heroin.
Oh, okay. Probably. I guess that
He's
makes
probably
more
That's
clean.
not
sense.
nice.
Sorry, Billy.
Mhm.
There was like 50 people playing in the orchestra, at least. And then behind that, a choir of at least 50 people.
Wow.
It was pretty
All
amazing.
that to make you appreciate Quadrophenia.
And which is a great album.
It's a great album.
I was up in the nosebleed seats, and at the Metropolitan Opera, the nosebleed seats are
Because you're an
really,
artist.
you need a passport to get up to those. I mean,
Yeah.
they are way, woo. You get vertigo. And they hadn't sold out. And so 10 minutes before curtain, they came around with tickets and like, you want to sit in the orchestra?
Wow.
Well, yes, I do want to sit in the orchestra.
Wow.
So that was performance number 2. But what we're here to talk about tonight is performance number 3. I had the fine opportunity to go see Mr. Paul McCartney, Sir Paul
Mhm.
McCartney.
Yeah, Mr. No, Mr.
No,
okay.
Mr. Sir Paul McCartney.
Mr. Sir Paul.
Because as Steve knows, we know a guy named Brian Ray who happens to be his guitar player.
Mhm.
And one of the fun things about going to the show
Hey, Brian.
is that I got to meet other musicians.
Yes.
Some of them very famous. Simon Kirke, who founded Free, and
Oh, yeah.
Bad Company. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very
But
cool.
also some less famous, including a really terrific guy named James Maddock, who's a singer-songwriter, who has an album that happens to be dropping today.
Yes.
And so I
Album
thought,
droppings.
I really like, he sent me a copy of it in advance, and I thought it was just terrific. I mean,
Yeah.
I told this to him, and I'll say to everybody, it's one of those albums that you listen to the whole thing straight through, and then you're like, that's a great album. I should put that on again. And
Awesome.
That does not happen all the
good
time.
No, it doesn't.
That is, and I really, and this is not the single, but this was my favorite song in the first listen.
Name
so
again. Name
his
and-
name is James Maddock,
Yes.
Maddock. You
Yeah.
can go to jamesmaddock.net.
And the song.
It's called Watch It Burn. We're going to turn our mics off while you folks at home listen to this. If you're in the radio audience, that's fine. If you're in the TV audience, we're going to play charades.
Yeah.
If you feel a sense of anger and injustice, and the blood inside your veins begins to boil, and the velvet rope around the entrance says you can't touch this, instead of water on the fire, you want to throw some oil. Put another tire on the bonfire, watch it burn. Put another tire on the bonfire, watch it burn. Watch it burn, burn, burn. Are you familiar with this feeling I'm expressing? Going up against the scene and the unseen, taking on the forces of repression, hand to hand with those who kill your dreams. Put another tire on the bonfire, watch it burn. Put another tire on the bonfire, watch it burn. Put another tire on the bonfire, watch it burn. Put another tire on the bonfire, watch it burn. Watch it burn, burn, burn. Their minds numbing, and some people got it coming. We can sit on the beach with a cooler of beer and watch the sunset in the weekend. Put another tire on the bonfire, watch it burn. Put another tire on the bonfire, watch it burn. Watch it burn, burn, burn.
folks. Hey, folks.
That's cool. I like that line.
You're listening to
about-
KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui.
Kind of makes me think of Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah, a
thought
little
that the
bit,
first
yeah.
time I heard it too. And, I got this album and I listened to it, I've listened to it like a dozen times since he sent it to me, and a lot of his other stuff. And he's really so terrific. I mean, it's so great when you discover a new musician that you didn't know, and it's so great to meet him in person.
Very cool.
So I hope this album is called Insanity versus Humanity.
And that just came out.
And it came out today.
Wow.
So you can get it
Sounds
on.
like, in a great way, it sounds like it could have came out like 30 years ago or 20 years ago, even.
Yeah, I
There's
understand.
no foghorns in the background. Or, I don't know what those kids listen to.
What is it that those kids? Well, if
It sounds terrible. I'm sorry. I was
If
listening.
if it's anything like my nephew, hi nephew. If it's
I'm
not,
sure he's watching right
oh,
now.
he watches
Yes,
every
yeah.
episode religiously, and he listens to EDM,
Yeah.
yeah.
and that's not EDM.
No, not at all.
That's all I have to say about that. So anyway,
right.
James Maddock, jamesmaddock.net. It's always good to promote your new friends.
Very cool.
So
I think that's great.
we're gonna we're just burning through all our time here. So
Chemo, you're killing it today. Your
well,
voice is so clear.
I love it.
You
We're-
are the highlight of 88.5 KKU this week.
Everybody in this room has a radio show on this network except for Steve Craig.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
true.
right.
I don't know if you listening at home, if you listen to the show right before us at 3 o'clock on Fridays,
Always.
that's where you'll recognize Michael's voice from, because
Yes.
Michael and Joel's show repeats on
What's
Fridays.
going on, and we
What's
talk
going
about
on.
all the events happening on Maui
That's,
every weekend.
So I definitely
Yeah,
knew
you're like,
you.
where do I
Yeah.
know that voice from?
I love Joel.
Okay, fine.
I don't
So
know
do
why.
I. I love him more than you do.
Well,
so
he used
just
to hang
shut
out
up.
in the corner over here. I don't see him as much anymore.
Well, that's because he said, "Does that Chuck still come around?"
Yeah, I scared off a lot of people.
He did. So, you totally broke my my chain, my thread.
But you're a pro, man. You can bounce back. See?
You can never break the chain.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Chuck.
If you don't love me now, you'll never love me again.
You're up.
Here's your punishment.
What do you got?
Whoa! Today's dumb quiz, Beatles edition.
Since I went to see McCartney, not Michael McCartney.
Taqueria Cruise.
Sir
Taqueria Cruise.
Paul.
Since I went to see Sir Paul, I thought we'd. Now here's the deal.
Did he have an opener? Is the big question.
Yeah, it was me. No, we did not have an opener. If we always play the same way, you get a point for every correct answer. The person who gets the most points doesn't have to come back to the tub. That's your prize.
That's
It's
your
not
prize.
true because I won the last time.
but
and I'm
this
still here.
time,
This is my chance to get out of here.
you also get a point if Steve Craig gets a question wrong.
Oh yeah, see.
Because he's Mr.
Mr.
Beatle. He's going to be
Beatles,
doing
yeah.
his Come Together show at Taqueria Cruise.
Taqueria
And so
Cruise. Close
Steve
enough.
gets to answer every question first, and if he's wrong, we all just get points.
Is
So
it really?
That's the way it works.
Okay,
So
let's
I
go.
don't jump in if I think I know the answer.
Everybody should, we'll just go in order. You answer, you answer, you
I'm
answer.
gonna answer.
And I
Sounds
go.
about right.
One of the
All right.
Beatles. It'll be
Let's
one
go.
of the Beatles. See if you can tell which one I'm
Dumb
doing.
quiz, Beatles edition. I'm going to ask you first.
Okay.
Who was the only non-member of the Beatles to receive a performance credit on a record?
The only not. Wow. Must
Was
be
it-
Eric Clapton.
Was it A, Eric Clapton,
A. Final answer.
B, Billy Preston, C, Ravi Shankar,
Actually, it's all the above. No, it's not.
or D, Mick Jagger?
No, it wasn't Mick.
What's your final answer?
Billy Preston got credit too. He got credit in the film for sure. Let me just think about this for a second now.
Do you have any guesses, Michael Pulliam?
I'm going to go with Clapton because I'm pretty sure that Ravi Shankar never
Yeah.
performed on a Beatles record or Mick Jagger. And as far as I remember, Billy Preston was credited.
So,
So I'm going with Clapton.
no, it's who was credited.
who
This
was
is the only
credited.
person
Oh,
Yeah.
who was? Well, then
credited.
I'm going with Billy
Billy Preston.
Preston.
Oh yeah, because Billy was definitely credited for the movie. It's a trick question going on here.
It's not. It's evidently not. I did not write
then
these
it
questions.
wasn't Eric. Okay, I'm
I
gonna go with Billy Preston too.
Is this like Larry John where you looked up the questions but not the answers?
No, I know all the. I know. That's so true. He like.
Who
I
knows?
love that segment.
When no one gets, it's like, well, we
I
really
I
don't
know the
know.
answer. I know all the
What is
answers.
the world's smallest seventh country? I don't know. I think it's Billy Preston
It
too.
is. Everybody gets a point. Billy
Okay, it
Preston
is
does
Billy.
get a credit.
Ding, ding, ding.
On the back of
Where's the bell?
All right, we're gonna switch it around.
I missed the bell.
number 2.
Question number 2. Dumb quiz edition. John Lennon and Paul McCartney sang backing vocals on which Rolling Stones single? A, I Want to Be Your Man. B, I Can't Get No Satisfaction. C, We Love You. Or D, Jumpin' Jack Flash. John Lennon, Paul McCartney sing backup vocals on which Rolling Stones single?
I'm guessing on this one too. I don't know. This is tough, man.
I know.
I've never
tough.
heard this before.
I'm saying this. C, the song I never heard before.
That's what I'm going to go with, too.
C.
Because I'm pretty sure it's not the other ones.
You know, it's a process of elimination. You know.
You know what? I think it's I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
You are wrong.
Oh,
you
well,
are
bummer.
both right.
Yeah, see that? Okay.
I've never heard of
We
it,
Love
so
You?
I'm going with that.
And C is always the answer on multiple
Oh,
choice.
I have
Don't
heard
you remember
that.
that?
With flowers in her hair.
Yeah, I've heard that silly
Yeah.
song.
She does it.
Alrighty. This one should be easy enough. Who was the oldest Beatle?
I know who that is.
Yeah, I
Well,
know this one,
it's
too.
there's only 4 of them, and it's A, B, C, and D.
It's
Do you want me
Ringo.
to-
It's Ringo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It is Ringo.
Yeah, he was.
You're still behind.
I know that he's
Okay.
the oldest one, though.
Ringo.
All right. Next.
All right.
Speed it up, Sauce.
4. The Beatles' 1967 double A side, Strawberry Fields Forever, Penny Lane, became their first single since Love Me Do in 1962 to fail the top UK charts. What held it at number 2? So it didn't make number 1.
Okay.
What was number 1 instead? A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum. Ooh, that's a good one. Release Me by Engelbert Humperdinck. I'm a Believer by the Monkees. Or D, This Is My Song by Petula Clark.
I'm guessing B.
All right.
I'm going to go with Engelbert, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
your answer, Chuck Sauce?
I mean, Whiter Shade of Pale.
It is in fact Engelbert Humperdinck.
Ah!
He was huge.
And he kept the Beatles in the number 2 slot.
You know, we said thank you
for
to
Penny
Engelbert,
Lane.
you know.
For Penny Lane, one
Yeah.
of the greatest songs Paul ever wrote.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't in their hearts, I guess.
All right, keep going.
All right. Dumb quiz, page 2.
Of 10.
That was a whole page.
Yeah.
I put it in big type for Chuck.
Thank you.
Which of the following Beatles songs was not
Pictures.
banned by the BBC? I Am the Walrus, With a Little Help from My Friends, A Day in the Life, or Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
A was not banned.
Yeah, it's got to be
Walrus.
because it was televised.
Mm.
The
Plus, it's
Well, I think we're talking about BBC Radio just to...
to the BBC.
Well, I Am the Walrus has allusions to weird stuff in it, but it's pretty much mumbo jumbo. With a Little Help from My Friends is a definite
Wait. That's
mentions
that's
of drugs.
I got to interrupt. That's the second time we've heard the term mumbo jumbo in the last 36 minutes. That's
That's
amazing.
right. You've heard it live on
That is-
KAKU.
That's amazing.
88.5
I think we should point that
FM,
out. Okay, today.
the voice
Mark
of
it
Maui.
down. Ring the bell.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry. Chuck.
A Day in the Life. Why would that be banned? What's wrong with that? There's no drug usage in A Day of Life, is there?
Yeah.
You go upstairs,
Have a smoke.
Yeah, what are they smoking?
Yeah.
Cigarettes, I'd imagine.
Okay, anyway.
Or Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, also about a cartoon,
So-
no drugs
yeah.
in there.
So you say walrus.
I'm
you
gonna go
say
with walrus
You
as
say
well.
walrus. It is actually a little help from my friends.
Oh,
Walrus
Really?
was
I get
evidently
high
banned.
with a little help from my
that
friends.
surprises me
But
because
was not banned because they say hi. But that was what the answer to this quiz said. Was that was now maybe they were wrong in their answer key, but that's what they said.
Okay, onward.
we got to speed this up a little bit, Chemo. Have we
Rolling.
Fuck.
Carry on.
All right. What was the first single by former Beatle to reach number 1 in the UK or the US? Was it McCartney's Another Day? Was it Lennon's Instant Karma? Was it Harrison's My Sweet Lord? Or is it Star's It Don't Come Easy?
I'm going with it. Don't come easy.
Yes, indeed.
It is evidently my sweet lord.
I didn't get a chance to
That's what they said.
Really?
answer
Yeah.
it, but
Really?
I would have gone
Well,
with that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Turn-
So
turn off
Well,
the mics.
that's
So-
because Harrison's album came out first.
we're tied.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right,
7.
last question.
Dear Prudence was written about the sister of what actor? A. Marilyn Monroe. B. Sophia Loren. C. Mia Farrow. Or D. Aubrey Hepburn.
Can I answer first?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going with Mia Farrow because they met when they went to India. So that's my guess. But I don't know for sure.
I'm with you on that, and I am for sure.
And you Chuck
Alrighty.
Sauce?
I'm going to go with Mia Farrow.
Correct.
Wow.
Prudence.
Oh, that was fun.
And everybody tied, and you'll have to come back.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
you-
I lost by 1.
No,
Does
no,
that
you-
mean I have
you-
to?
you got an extra
Oh,
point.
That's
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
right.
Steve got one
You
wrong.
did all that math in your head?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm like a math savant.
That's amazing.
I'm
You're a
I'm
savant to something.
I'm what they used to call an idiot savant.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, except
They dropped
just-
the savant
They
part.
they dropped the savant. That was the weird thing.
That's right.
I don't know what that's all about.
We're very progressive.
Yeah. All right. When you think Harvey the 6-foot-tall rabbit, do you
Yes.
think this kind of music?
No.
No, I don't either. But this is gonna be my interview music now.
Well, this
Kinda
this
salsa.
music's very playful and very fun,
I
and
like
that's
it.
kind of the underlying nature of Harvey, right? That everyone's kind of being stuck up, but this guy is having fun.
Chuck
you know?
has shown us the light.
He has shown us the light. So now we're here for the interview section of
Yes.
our fun show. I'm gonna bring out the book now.
Uh-oh.
Chapter 1, page 1. You
Harvey
read it
by-
out here,
Harvey
baby.
by Mary Chase. One of the best things I ever got from my grandfather. I got a lot of things, including a lot of my jeans from him. We were the same size.
Oh, okay. That's
Heyo.
quite the play on words there, buddy boy.
But this is a great book called The 50 Best Plays of the American Theater, which I love, and it has all sorts of great things in it, including Harvey, which I've been rereading in preparation for this. And I want to know, maybe you know this answer and maybe you don't. Every single stage direction, down to the, like, he picks up a cigarette lighter from the right-hand corner of the...
Right.
Is that a weird thing for Mary Chase, or did they do that a lot in plays
That's
of that era?
That's an era thing, you know. And I can share with you that our director, Dale Button, just immediately said, ignore all of that unless I say do that.
Right. That was going to be
So-
my follow-up question is there like something in the Mary Chase estate that says you must
No.
follow my stage directions down to the letter?
I don't remember what show I was watching, but Christopher Walken talked about how when he gets a script, the first thing he does is get a black Sharpie and cross off all of that stuff so that he can just read it and make his own judgment.
Right. Go back to the Shakespeare era where there were like no stage, there's exit pursued by a bear, and that's about it. That's the
Yeah.
only stage direction Shakespeare ever wrote in his entire life. The rest of it was
A
up
lot
to
of
the
it
company.
has to do with the set that you're working with as well. And, it's also the style of each director wanting to have the freedom
Sure.
to invent what's going to happen. And do you get up there? Do you walk over there? Do you pick up the phone and have a little bit more improvisation in the development of the production?
Now, this play takes place in a lot of different locales, if memory serves. Is that difficult to translate to the
Not
stage
that
at the
many.
end?
The play version, it's only 2 places.
Is it really?
The movie,
I
they're
jumped
all over the place.
I get the two confused. I actually saw the play on Broadway, the most recent revival, which was that
Jim Parsons.
exactly
Yeah.
that guy from The Big Bang Theory who makes $10
Right.
million an episode, Jim Parsons, in the Elwood Dowd role.
Is
But
that up to 10 an episode? That's a lot.
what's that?
Is it up to 10? 10 million an episode?
It's probably $100 million an
I think it's
episode.
like-
That thing is a cash cow for CBS, and
yeah,
all they have to do is go on set and just smile, and they're like, "Here's your paycheck, go home."
yeah.
Anyway,
Kind of like
Well-
this show.
That's right.
yeah, except my paycheck is not in the millions. Yeah, don't look.
Our set,
It's just in the thousands. But go ahead.
our set, everything is on a pivot,
Okay.
so it turns. The walls just simply spin around as it goes from the Dowd or Simmons household, depending on his brother sister,
To the is the hospital the other side?
to the hospital. So it's either the family home, which is like this Victorian mansion, to a sanitarium.
Now, I jumped right in asking all sorts of technical questions because Harvey is a film that's near and dear to me. I've seen the play. But I bet there are people out there listening who have no idea what we're talking
I
about.
bet there are.
So tell, without giving too much away, why should people, what's the sort of rundown? What would the trailer for Harvey
Well, I
sound
would-
like?
Elwood P. Dowd is a guy that comes from old money. So he doesn't have to do anything. And he decides...
Like
he's-
Steve.
He
Yeah.
decides he's not going to do anything. So what he does is he spends a lot of time in the bars, and he meets people, and he listens to about their life, and he helps them. And a lot of times he invites those people back to his house, and of course his sister and his niece do not want to entertain the type of individual that he finds in these bars. And his partner in crime is Harvey, an imaginary 6'1.5" tall white rabbit that can talk.
Or, as the script points out, not imaginary.
Right. and as I said earlier, there are other people that see Harvey. So there's a debate. Is Harvey real or not? And there's some special effects that happen in the play that will make the audience believe that Harvey is real as well.
That's very interesting.
So eventually his family becomes so annoyed by his life that they decide to have him committed into an institution. And he does a very good job of charming everybody along the way. And I don't want to give the rest away.
Right, exactly. You'll
But-
have to go see it.
Yeah. That's
It's
good.
not a cut and dry instance where he is instantly put into the sanitarium and the rest of the family gets to do away with
Right.
Elwood for the
Which
rest.
the movie was kind of like quick, like, oh, you're too crazy for me. Let's go to the sanitarium.
Well, in Harvey Point Part 2, they just put him in the sanitarium in the first 10 minutes, and then it's all just about the system.
Electroshock.
Exactly.
I don't remember that part.
Harvey 2, Electric Boogaloo. You didn't see that?
Why is every sequel Electric Boogaloo?
Because, it rhymes with
Does this show have commercials? Because now would be a really, really good time.
Hey, look, you only got 12 more minutes, buddy, so just,
Trying to
Oh,
yell.
yeah.
One of my favorite things about this show, Mary Chase was a journalist in Denver, and she lived on a block where, during the war, a friend of hers who was a widow lost her young son in World War II. So she was kind of compelled by all of this depression on her block to write something to lift people's spirits. She felt that America needed a comedy to get their mind off of World War II. And so Harvey opened in 1944, the fourth longest running play in the history
Yeah, I
of
was going to
Broadway.
say, it
Wow.
has had,
I did not
it had
know
a
that. The
tremendous
The other
run.
three plays were before Harvey. So no play has ever surpassed the longevity
Since
of Harvey,
Harvey
since Harvey.
Debut.
Yeah, it ran for 6 years on Broadway.
Did not know that. Wouldn't have guessed that.
I
Would
thought
have
Cats
lost
ran
that.
for like 9
Oh, the
years.
question- wow.
Well, that's a musical.
Oh.
So they make a big deal on the
Got
stage
you.
between your musicals
Yes.
and
Your
your
straight
plays.
plays.
Right, play.
Ah, it's
Or
all
you-
coming back to me.
Or
Yeah,
you can
it's
just say
coming back.
play.
And there's
Yeah.
well, except then there's this thing called a play with music, which is a union term. Anyway,
Then there's the seventh grade talent show.
I've spent way too much time thinking about these things.
Yes.
I rocked the seventh grade talent
Did
show.
you?
Just my Roy Orbison imitation.
Really?
When
Let's
yeah.
hear it. Come on,
No,
go.
no.
Come on.
I'm
5
A
not-
lot of
seconds.
I'm not
seventh graders
5
appreciate Roy
seconds.
Orbison.
Hey, he opened it up.
Not alone
That's 5 seconds.
anymore.
Yeah, it's good. That's from the
Wow.
Traveling Hillbillies.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to just pull some Orbison. That's not what
Handle
I did.
me with care, baby.
Yes, love
I
Roy.
was all right for a while.
That's pretty good.
I could smile for a while. But anyway, we're not talking about
Again,
me.
commercials.
I can-
We already talked about me. We're talking about a 6-foot rabbit.
Okay,
named
go,
Harvey.
man. You-
So, did Chase write other plays?
She did, but nothing of that success.
Mm-hmm.
She was primarily a journalist in an era when, there weren't a lot of female journalists. So she had probably been a journalist for 20 years before
Wow.
she wrote
Yeah. So
Harvey.
she really was a.
And then she really wanted Antoinette Perry to direct it. That's what the Tonys are named after, is Antoinette Perry.
Did not know that either.
Antoinette
See the stuff you
Yes,
learn on
yes.
this show.
Hey, zip it.
Antoinette Perry co-founded the American Theater Wing, which is the organization that gives away the Tonys. And the American Theater Wing started as a group of theatrical women that wanted to raise money to help the boys that were going off to fight in World War I. So they did all kinds of things like fundraisers and sending care packages and whatnot. But eventually, about 30 years later, she passed away not long after Harvey premiered. And they decided, let's do theater awards and let's name the award after Antoinette Perry. So another thing I love about Harvey is that it's a show that is pretty much put together entirely by women, but a lot of the characters in the show are men. So it's written
Yeah, but
by
it's
women,
like a
directed
man
by-
that drinks too much and is lazy and doesn't do anything with his life
And has
is obviously
money.
no good, and has a mischievous, maybe best friend.
But he's so lovable.
Yeah.
I mean, she wrote the character as chivalrous, almost like Ashley from Gone with the Wind or
Yeah.
something, you know?
Which is no reason Jimmy Stewart played him in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So he has to be lovable.
True. I mean, that was great casting.
So who
because
plays him in the
it's
play?
hard.
In the original,
In
this
the
is-
in the historic
you're-
EL.
you're
that's
looking
me,
at him.
That's me.
You're
I play
actually
Elwood.
you?
Yeah.
He is playing
That's
Elwood
so
P.
beautiful.
Dowd.
You're lovable.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Chuck has had a moment.
Wow.
I saw the lights going up above your head. You're like, oh,
I thought you were playing Harvey, and I was imagining
No, there
you.
is no. Harvey is imagined.
You don't see him.
You don't actually
on the
see
stage.
a rabbit.
you thought he was playing. The
I didn't want to
sister.
burst your bubble, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they
I'm
hi-
playing
That's what
Elwood
happens
and-
when people audition and they're really bad. You could just say, "Oh, you could be Harvey." Yeah, yeah. You want a part? Oh, you can play Harvey.
Yeah, I had a friend that said he was going to play Harvey, and I didn't know
Yeah,
if he
that's
knew.
that's.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
In the movie, they show him for like half a minute, though.
Do they?
It's
Yeah.
it's just doors opening and shadows.
yeah, exactly.
and
Is there a
things like that.
shadow?
There's
Yeah.
gonna be some fun things that
Yeah,
happen
that you
in
can't
our
reveal.
stage version, but I would like them to be a surprise.
Right.
They
And
have
if
to
you
do
want to
Donnie
get tickets,
Darko.
I got to do the shameless plug.
Yeah,
if you want to get
please.
tickets, Visit MauiOnStage.com. It opens 2 weeks from today and then runs 3 weekends, Fridays and Saturdays, 7:30 p.m., 3 p.m. Sundays at the Historic EL Theater, MauiOnStage.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
The man's a pro.
He is. He's absolutely pretty. You'd think he has his own radio show
And
or
it's
something.
so hot out, you want to go to Wailuku anyway.
And it's
10
air
degrees
conditioned.
cooler there.
The
It
EL
is.
And then
Theater's
it's
air
so nice
conditioned.
in the theater itself.
I know the air conditioning is fantastic. It's like
Yeah, that's
they've
right.
like swung the pendulum the other direction.
And I'm
So-
pretty sure, you know.
So
it's
you remember
cold.
the bad old days when everybody was like, I've got the vapors.
I think I saw at the snack bar. I think I actually saw sugar babies there. So I'm going.
So it's the only reason you go to the
When was the last
theater is
time you
the
saw
snacks.
sugar babies? I'm asking you seriously.
I thought you would have liked
sugar
sugar
babies.
daddies more.
Ah,
right.
sugar babies.
At the snack bar at the Historic EL
You know,
Theater
I'm just
With
telling
air
you.
conditioning.
I'm just telling you.
with air conditioning. We're really selling this. How much are
And
tickets?
frozen yogurt.
Yes, that was going to be.
The tickets range from $20 to $40 depending on where you want to sit, but there's really not a bad seat in the
Right.
EL Theater.
No, there really isn't. I mean, I have literally sat in the back row. In fact, I've literally sat perched on the thing you're not supposed to sit on in the back row because I ended up at one of the Onos that was so
Packed.
so packed. I was like the last person in, and there was like no place to go. So I'm like leaning against the light booth, and that was fine. So
Yeah.
really, I mean, there really isn't
I love that place.
a bad.
It's got a
I
good
love it
vibe.
too.
Yeah, it's good.
You know, Frank Sinatra on
What ab-
stage.
what about him? Frankie?
Sinatra
Frankie
performed there. Donald O'Connor, Betty Hutton, Mickey Rooney,
Bob Hope.
Bob Hope. I almost forgot Bob Hope.
Don't forget Bob.
Never. The ghost of Bob Hope will come and punish
Yes.
you for that.
Yes, he was 98.
That sounds like a reward. That's like an adorable
You know, Harry
haunting.
Dean Stanton died today.
yeah.
I did not hear
I
that.
saw that.
He
That's
just
too
passed
bad.
away today. But what surprised me the most, well, a lot of things surprised me in life, but did you know he was 91 years old?
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Everybody seems to be 90-something anymore.
And Harry Dean Stanton just never struck me as somebody who was,
yeah.
you know, had been around quite that long.
Yeah, well, as
but
soon as I saw the picture today on Facebook, his face, I go, oh, that guy's been in so many things.
everything.
Right.
Harry Dean
So
Stanton has been
going way back, obviously.
right. So 91, and you know,
That's, Mel
with
Brooks is 90-something.
with an
still
8-pack
alive.
a day
Carl
habit or
Reiner's
something.
even older than that. Carl Reiner might be 96 for all I know.
Wow.
He's
Yeah.
way up there.
Harry Dean Stanton
Yeah,
is
he
that
still
guy
has his
that,
name
that
on
the
everything,
the
though.
sig the,
Right.
Like
the
everything.
Surgeon General doesn't want you to hear about
Say
because
that again.
Harry Dean Stanton he like smoked like a chimney like for 75 years.
And he's lived to be 91.
And he lived to be 91.
Yeah, they don't want you.
Right.
They don't want you to know.
He's
They're
like Camel cigarettes. See?
It's all genetics,
See, it's not a
right?
problem.
Look
No,
at
no,
Harry.
Fine.
Light up, light
Knock
up.
yourself out.
It's like Keith Richards, you
Yeah,
know. They're
right.
like,
Well,
kids,
at this point,
don't
the
do
alcohol
drugs.
is just keeping him alive.
Right. Don't do drugs and don't look at Keith Richards.
You're right.
Drugs are a preservative, right?
Yeah, evidently for Keith they are.
Keith.
If he quit doing drugs, he would die
Okay.
at this point, right?
That's the theory. Well, I'll call
It's
him up
holding
and
him together.
I'll
at this
tell him
point.
Chuck
right.
Sauce said that if you stop doing, hey,
Bloody
I believe we
hell.
only have 5 minutes left.
Whoa.
That flew by.
It really does.
With no
Um,
commercials.
Can
well,
I share another little?
Yeah, what I was going to say is if these two would just stop talking, we could get another question in
baby.
here.
All right.
This is one of my favorite pieces of trivia about Harvey is that when these two ladies got together, Antoinette Perry and Mary Chase, they really wanted to cast this actor, Frank Fay. And Frank Fay was one of the big, like, think Robin Williams. He was a gigantically famous comedian in the 30s, but he was a raging over-the-top alcoholic, so much so
Yeah.
that he destroyed his career.
Yeah.
And there was a big stretch where he didn't work. His first wife was Barbara Stanwyck, who, when he married her, she was a nobody, and then she became famous,
Yeah.
and then he became a liability. And the movie A Star Is Born is about him.
Really?
It's about the fact that he was a super famous guy, discovers this beautiful young woman, she
Who then becomes the
famous,
star.
and then he goes to the premiere of A Star Is Born because it's about him when he can't work because he's such a drunk. And in A Star Is Born, they have the character commit suicide because he decides the world would be better if he'd killed himself.
Wow.
So
take the
years
hint.
go by, and they really want Frank Fay to play this role. And the producers freaked out and had this stipulation-laden contract saying, if you get drunk once, if you show up to rehearsal with alcohol in your breath, you are fired. Well, he got sober, and he did it, and that's why Harvey became such a big hit.
Wow.
All these other
very
people did
cool.
Harvey later. And
Okay.
Frank Fay was the guy that originated the role of Elwood.
Okay.
And
That must have been a little torturous, though, because in the play, he drinks, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So he's got to pretend to want to drink all the time.
Which he
But it
probably
might
was-
be
but-
fun, too, because he
He
kind of...
probably did want to drink all the time. It probably wasn't
Yeah.
pretending. He just needed to like
Yeah.
channel.
So that probably brought a lot of authenticity to the whole.
Of course, I think that's why the
performance,
two
right?
ladies wanted him so much, was
Yes.
they felt this guy
can
can
relate.
play
Right.
a in trouble drunk, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, I won't get into the
Now,
details.
is this a
but
self-confession here for you? Because I hear you're quite.
Well, I
Just
do.
talking
I
to-
do enjoy
Yeah.
a cocktail as
Hey,
Open
Hello.
forum. Open forum, buddy.
it is an open forum.
Chemo, welcome,
Sauce,
welcome to the
Sauce,
tub.
You
How
may
are you doing?
you may never come back.
Hey,
if
Yay,
you-
Chemo, let me ask you. Let me just tell you something. You're just the host.
That's true. It's all
That's
about
right.
whether
That's-
Sauce is getting
it's-
sauced over there.
It's your show. I mean, it's your show.
I know.
Next
And
week, I'm going to show you guys how to make margaritas.
We're excited to be
Thank
here.
goodness we don't have a show next week.
Oh, I'll be here.
But in 2 weeks, you'll just show up. You come every Friday, don't you? You just sit in an empty studio going, I love my show.
That's right.
So what we're going to do is thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
You're
Thank
a
you so
delight.
much, Timo.
You're a delight. You're fine. But the two of you are really fantastic.
Delightful. Yeah,
No,
delightful.
you're great, Chuck Sauce.
All right.
And what we're
gets
going
all
to
the
do is we're going to put
accolades.
on a little music, and then we're going to go around. Everybody can shamelessly plug their thing one more time. The music we're going to put on is by our good friend Brian Ray.
Okay, very good.
This
Hey,
is
Brian.
this is the latest single from his band, The Bayonets. It's called Like She Does, and we're going to go out to it.
I know this
because
song is great.
He is a great
Yeah,
singer and a
yeah.
great guitar player,
Mhm.
and a great human being. So you
I
know,
like him.
Really, it's the trifecta.
Yeah.
He has a message for you, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, you post a lot of cute pictures on Facebook of you
Okay.
and Julie. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, tone it down.
He said that?
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to send him like an 8x10 now,
Exactly.
autograph.
All right, so we're gonna put on a little music called "Like She Does" from the
Okay.
Bayonets.
Are we plugging something on Zoom?
Wow, that's
one
some stomp
second.
rock, huh?
It
Oh, it's
is.
really
Oh,
good
yeah.
stuff. We'll let this play for a second.
Well, it's a torn down time in a shook up world.
All right, Steve Craig, where can people see you?
Every Sunday at the world famous Dog and Duck in Kihei in the Triangle from 6 to 9. Sundays, Dog and Duck, 6 to 9. On Friday, the 22nd of September at Taqueria Cruz from 6 to 9, doing a one-man Beatles show called Come Together. And, Halloween at the Mulligans. Big show on Halloween at
And
Mulligans.
big show
The
on
Lonely
Halloween.
Heart Shakers. Rock.
All right,
That's
excellent. Mr. Chuck Sauce, where people can find
Every
you.
Tuesday, you can catch me and Power Up Comedy at Open Mic Comedy Night at Three's Bar and Grill from 9 to 11. Every Tuesday, 21 plus to sign up. And you can catch me October 5th at Casanovas. I will be hosting and performing in a comedy review there. Chino LaForge is coming back to Island.
Woohoo!
We're doing
We
a
might have to
weekend
have
of
him on the
shows.
show.
We're doing a show Saturday, October 7th at Three's Bar and Grill also. And every third Sunday of the month, you can catch me at Maui Comics and Collectibles from Comics and Comics.
All right, Michael Pulliam, one more time.
Yes, I will be playing Elwood P. Dowd in the classic American comedic play Harvey, which opens 2 weeks from tonight, September 29th at the historic Yale Theater. Runs for 3 weekends, and you can get tickets by visiting MauiOnStage.com.
All right, dance for the cameras, everybody.
Like she